Guys, today we've got a huge Nike SNKRS app shock drop. The Jordan 5 Tokyos are coming back, but not exactly how we expected. And Nike hiked prices and everybody else is about to follow. Welcome to Sneaky Sunday. How has your weekend been? It's been pretty good for anybody who loves OG Jordan 4s. Of course, I'm talking about the Jordan 4 White Cement, which had a pretty interesting release. So obviously out in the US, these things flew. They completely sold out. However, surprisingly for other places like here in the UK and the EU, there's still a bunch of sizes sat. So we got everything through from a UK 7 to a 10, all fully available. Some of the larger sizes as well. Just goes to show like there was a decent amount of pairs of these, but I don't think anybody is complaining. Like people who wanted these things hopefully managed to get them. Great pair of sneakers, true to the OG. It's as OG as you can get them. So massive W to anybody who picked these things up. Let me know if that was you down in the comments. Another pair that released, which I'm just genuinely curious about who bought these things, the Swarovski Crystal $1,000 Jordan 1s. We keep talking about these things, but it's just like, I really want to know who bought them. Honestly, if they did release here in the UK, I might have bought them just for a video, but yeah, it's just crazy to see the $1,000 price tag on the Nike SNKRS app. So yeah, let me know if you picked them up. But let's get into this upcoming stuff, and let's kick it off with a release that's right around the corner, the Puma Asap Rocky collection, the new version. So we've got a bunch of different models. Some of my favorites, honestly, I love the Inhale model. We've got 3 different colorways. It looks like they're slightly mixing things up this time. So the Inhale now has laces wrapped around it. It kind of seems like they're doing that Balenciaga Adidas thing where they kind of make them look super distressed. Then we got 2 other Mostros, which this one looks super interesting with like this plastic cage over the top. Like that's pretty dope. And then we got a slightly more regular one, just looking a little bit more like a cycling shoe. All of these are going to drop alongside a clothing collection as well. So it's the whole like, kind of what we saw last time. Issue with this pair, the one that I thought was interesting, $250 for these. That's pretty rough. I'd like to know where the $250 comes from. Is it because of the cage? That seems a little bit unnecessarily steep. I'd probably pick them up otherwise, but yeah, not for $250. Are you crazy? Either way, May 30th, if you're after any of the Puma Asap Rocky collaboration, solid stuff. Nike is just about to drop a brand new sneaker model, which seems to have some people at least interested. They're going to be doing a collaboration on this model very soon as well with South Korea's, I don't know how to say this, Haein. They're apparently the brand that's going to help debut this model, but this new one is actually called the AVA Rover or Ava Rover. It's a lifestyle model that looks kind of ACG-ish or Nike ISPA type thing. Like, it's not too far off of what we've seen before, but apparently the cushioning is React-X or some kind of React cushioning, so they could be super comfortable. It's at least interesting looking. It's definitely not my favorite, but hell, if these things are super cozy and a reasonable price, maybe there's something interesting to it. Either way, these are the GR colorways, and then the collaboration one is not too far off. It's this one over here, so it's pretty much just like gray and black. Nothing too special about it. I mean, it's okay. Either way, this model is going to debut this summer. Nike and Jordan Brand just did a little deep dive on their Rare Air collection. So as we know, we've seen a bunch of different pairs. We got the Jordan 1s, the Jordan 3s, the Jordan 4s, and the Jordan 11. So here's a little closer look at what's going to be dropping this October. So we've got a little in-hand look. These things are basically just like slightly aged, but they carry that kind of that color scheme that they've been using, which is the blue and the red. They look okay. I'm definitely not mad at the colorway. Is there anything super interesting about them? We'll have to wait and see. I know that they did some interesting stuff for the Jordan 4s and of course the Jordan 3s with the like mirrored Nike swoosh on the back, but this one doesn't seem to have any standout unique details like the other ones. So I'm keen to see if they do come up with something closer to the release, but this is what they look like. Essentially just a Jordan 11 with some blue and red. These are going to be dropping October the 1st as of right now. If we get any more updates, I will let you guys know. But alongside showcasing these and the other pairs, we also get a little look at a slightly disappointing sample. Now, it's disappointing for the fact that I think I prefer these to what's actually dropping. So this is the white colorway of the Rare Air. I think it looks really good. It has some aged details, but it's not over the top, I guess. Like you got some slight sailing around this back midsole over here. The eye stays and laces are also kind of sailed out. You got this really cool 23 patch on the tongue, which I kind of like. The leather looks relatively decent. You got the Nike Air branding on the back. I think I prefer these to what's actually dropping, which is the black pair. It's a little bit unfortunate that this is not going to be releasing, maybe further down the line, but let me know your thoughts. Would you prefer these or what we're actually going to be getting, which is the black pair with all of the same details? We just got a release date for the Works Out Nike Air Max 95. These are going to be dropping May the 31st in South Korea, so we now know that they are going to be an exclusive. It's not bad. I do like the black pair. I think it's not bad. It's nothing too crazy. I'm not that disappointed that they're not going to be dropping worldwide. There may be a release worldwide, but it hasn't been confirmed and it doesn't look likely. So yeah, anybody who really likes this pair of shoes, a little bit unfortunate, but yeah, we got two colorways, the black and this green one, both dropping 31st of May out in Korea, but that's about it. Speaking of Air Max 95s, we just got first looks at the Levi's collaboration, which is going to be dropping at some point soon. Like, it's literally happening this year. Kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, we do know that Nike and Jordan Brand are doing a bunch of different Levi's type shoes. I think there's an official 2026 collaboration on the Jordan 3. We're getting those denim 4s, which it's not an official collab, but it's still denim. And this is the Air Max 95. So we're getting three different colorways, a black, blue, and all white, which the old white ones, surprisingly, are actually fire. I like those things. Funnily enough, I believe this picture was from Lil Yachty, who kind of, I guess, leaked them. This is the only image that we have, so there's not much to go off of. I can't tell if it's a big bubble or not. It kind of looks a little bit larger, but that could just be normal. There's some light distressing going on, which I think over time these things would wear down quite nicely, like kind of worn out denim. Looks like you get an extra pair of red laces for each one, maybe even a second one. This one looks to have another pair of black laces. As of right now, no exact release date. These should just be dropping at some point this year. I imagine pretty soon. If we start seeing these leaks, it'll probably happen during the summertime at some point. A little bit later this year, we're going to be getting a pretty dope pair of Kobe. So this is actually the Statue of Liberty PE Kobe 6, which is going to be dropping this holiday season. The first look kind of came from Jalen, who wore them to a game, so you can see him wearing them over here. This is them on foot, which look a little bit brighter. It almost looks like the Nike swoosh and the back tab are kind of gold, but according to this image over here, it's a little bit, I don't know, it's not exactly gold, unless it's just the lighting. Either way, this freaking Tiffany color goes hard. As of right now, it's a PE, but it is going to be dropping this year. Let me know what you think about these things down in the comment section. As soon as we get any more updates or an actual release date, I'll let you guys know. These are pretty cool. So also dropping later on this year, Adidas is going to make these slip-on intimidation sneakers. I've always liked the intimidations, like especially the Packer collaboration I thought was really nice, but this slip-on version is solid. Obviously, you guys know the history of this silhouette, an archive Adidas model that obviously was like made super popular by the Yeezy 500, which basically borrowed this midsole. Post Yeezy, obviously Adidas decided to bring it back with some different GR models, the Packer collaboration, like I said, and now they're looking to be doing some kind of cozy version. I wonder if Adidas is going to start pumping these out. It would make sense if they do. I imagine that, you know, that just sounds like something Adidas would do. Either way, these two colorways are going to be dropping this fall. Again, no release date, so nothing exact, but let's talk about this Nike SNKRS app restock because it looks pretty out of the blue and pretty massive. So we've got two release dates upcoming, May the 27th and May the 28th in the morning. Now, currently this restock is just going to be for the EU, but they're not ruling out that this is going to happen in the US at some point. I imagine with the amount of pairs that's in this restock, it seems likely that they would do a US restock as well. So some of the sneakers that apparently we're going to be getting is May 27th, we've got the Game Royal Lows, the Jordan 1s, we've got the Wu-Tang Dunks, we've got the Imam 4s, the SB Navies, and then on the 28th, we're supposed to be getting Brick by Brick 4s, Union 1s, Kobe Air Forces, and the Yuto Horigome Nike SB Dunk Club. We also have stock numbers for this, which, if true, is pretty wild. So obviously, we know the Brick by Bricks are super limited, 160 pairs, bots are gonna eat those things up. Same thing with the Unions, super limited. Same thing with the Utos, but 10,000 pairs for the SB Navies. That's pretty massive. If you took an L on them, you definitely got a solid shot here. 650 pairs for the Imam 700 for the Wu-Tangs, 9,400 for the Game Royals, then just 65 for the Kobe's. Now, the weird thing is that only some of these have actually loaded up to the Nike SNKRS app here in the UK. So you can see you've got Wu-Tang, SBs, you got the Kobe's over here. Same thing with the Utos. So these are all loaded up as of right now for the 27th and the 28th. Will the other ones pop up? Potentially. I know that they did load up originally and then they got pulled, so maybe it's just something where like they only want to load it up slowly, or maybe they just made a mistake and they weren't going to load it up, or maybe they're not dropping at all. We're not entirely sure, but they have seen them on the back end, which is where this person got the information, Stash Sneakers, so they could or could not drop. We're not entirely sure. Worth going for any of these if you're interested. Just want wanted to let you guys know, and also keep an eye out for the US, because if this is happening in the EU, there is still a shot that it might happen worldwide. This one is dope. I just had to show you guys. So Rejuvenator did a little custom, I guess, mashup sneaker of the Travis Scott Jumpman Jack and the Nike KD18, and they look dope. So you can see from these images what they've kind of swapped. So they swapped the midsole and I guess the entire bottom of the shoe from the KD18 over to the Jumpman Jacks, and I really like how it kind of matches up. Like, I wish they added something a little bit more chunkier, maybe something a little bit more comfortable on the Jumpman Jack. So here they have it, just a recreation, a little merge of sneakers. I love the cage as well. I think that looks really dope, although it does hide the reverse Nike swoosh, which obviously is a Travis Scott signature. I'm sure there's a way they could overlay that if they wanted to, make something crazy mashed up like this. But yeah, obviously this is just a one-of-one of custom, something that Rejuvenator does, I think, pretty frequently, mashing up shoes. I just love the way that these things turned out, and it's such a weird combination, which I never imagined would look good. Speaking of one-of-ones, well, this one's not exactly a one-of-one, but it practically might as well be. So this is a rare colorway of the Off-White Air Force One that we never saw. It's just a sample, and this one is probably one of the most rare out there. So this pair is actually in Virgil size, I think a 12. It's called the Crimson Overlace colorway. So it's a sample that was made, I believe, in 2020, according to this. They're estimating that there was maybe 2 to 3 pairs in total, and it's really interesting to look at these now, considering we know that Nike and Jordan Brand are bringing back the Off-White collaboration as something that they're kind of, I guess, with their retroing the Alaskas or the Euros later on this year. So could we see them dig back into the archives and bring back a lot of this Off-White stuff? I mean, it's definitely a potential. I would honestly say that nothing from Off-White is off limits. Jordan Brand might just dig back in and milk it for all it's worth. That would be a Jordan Brand move. If we're being honest, that's something that they would do. Who knows what 2026 holds, but we'll have to see how the whole release goes this year. But I think it's going to be a big indicator on those Jordan 1s. If they fly, if they make a decent amount of pairs and they indicate that they'll be making more from the Off-White sample backstory, then expect a huge resurgence of Off-White collaborations. And let me know if you want to see Jordan Brand go back into the archives from Off-White and bring back some of these collabs. Lord knows Nike's gonna have to do something, because what everybody's focusing on right now is the price increases from Nike. So like I said last week, price increases are coming, and it's actually way sooner than we thought. It's already happened. Nike and Jordan Brand products have already shot up, so we can see here, these are some of the price increases that you will find on the Nike sneakers app or the Nike app over in the US. $180 for the Jordan 1 UNC Reimagine is now $185. I wouldn't panic too much about those, because I could see those going on sale in different outlets, which if they do, huge steal. If you manage to get these things like 40-50% off, big W. Looks like Jordan 12s are now going to be $205, so just a little $5 increase for those. And then we've got a bunch of Nike products that have gone up an entire $10. So that was pretty much the range. We knew products were going to go up anywhere between $5 and $10, and it looks like some of the more expensive Jordan Brand products, they couldn't justify a full $10 increase, so they're just bumping those up by $5. But these ones like the Spiridon and the Air Max Muse are both $10 more expensive. But what I think is really interesting is, like, consumers most likely would just wait for a lot of this stuff to go on sale, surely. Like, if you're looking at the Spiridons, you're like, that's a nice pair of shoes, I want to buy them, and you see the price tag $170, you knew that they were $160 just a couple days ago, surely you'll just be like, well, they're not selling out, I'll just wait for them to hit the outlets. Now, the one, I guess, silver lining to all of these price increases are that Jordan Brand and Nike are not going to be touching the $100 range shoes. So the more affordable models, they're not going to be putting the prices on. So it kind of makes the V5 Runner even more appealing than it already was. So this is Nike's $90 retro runner shoe, one of my favorite products from Nike. And now that the price is not going to be going up on these affordable models, it seems like it's going to be a steal. Like, if you compare these things to the Vomero 5s, which I believe have been bumped up in price, $90 for these versus like what, $160, $170 for the Vomero 5s, it's a no-brainer to pick these. This is a banger colorway as well. I don't think they've dropped here in the UK and the EU, but I would pick these up. I mean, it's a really nice one. There's a bunch of different colorways. We've got like all of these. I own this gold one, which is really nice, or like bronze one. I know I'm kind of going on about it, but yeah, I do think I agree with this title. It is one of the most slept on runners right now. Now, if you thought you could escape these price increases by just simply going to a different brand, saying I'm not going to buy any Nikes anymore, I'm going to go to Adidas or Puma, well, they're going to follow. So we got this article over here saying that yeah, it's very likely that all of these different retailers are now going to be hiking their prices. They just didn't want to be the first mover. So we did speak about that article a couple weeks ago. Adidas and Puma both said that they didn't want to increase the prices first. Nike was like, fine, I'll do it myself, and just shut the prices up. So now I guess a lot of them are going to follow. Nike is like the Apple of sneakers. Once Apple does something, a lot of the other brands do it as well. Same thing over here. And it looks like, yeah, places like Puma and Adidas, they've got no excuse now to keep their prices the same, unless they want to absorb a lot of the costs and then just try and steal some market share. I don't know what the move is, but we'll probably see a very similar increase in prices across the board. Different brands shooting up by $5 to $10. We also just got word that Asics is going to be raising prices in 2026. They're going to wait it out a little bit, but here's a little, I guess, a little guide of what to expect. Now, Asics is not going to be protecting the under $100 range. As you can see, those are going up $10. So like the 1130s in grade school used to be 85, now they're going to be 95. Seems pretty consistent that everything is going up by between like $10 and $20. Look at the gel NYC, that was 130, now it's 150. 1130s, 110. Thing is, with all of these price increases, they're all going to be saying, hey, it's because of tariffs. But even if tariffs, after this whole 90-day negotiation phase ends and tariffs go back to normal, these prices are going to stay. There's no way they're going to be dropping these prices back down. So it's kind of just like, this is how it is now. Let me know what you think about all of this, and how are these price increases affecting your shopping? Are you trying to go to different like outlets and stuff like that, or are you just like, I don't care? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. We just got first looks at a new colorway of the upcoming Adidas AE2 in a slime, black lime colorway. These things look dope. This is the first solid colorway I've seen on the AE2. There's been a lot of pinks and oranges and very flashy options. Not that these are not flashy, but that lime green with the black is a really nice color combination. Now this one should be dropping April the 12th, 2026. So we're almost getting a goddamn full year in advance on information on this. Retail price is $130 for the men's, and then the GS being $100. We'll see about that, if that actually stays the same. But I'm excited for the AE2. It looks like a dope pair of shoes. I'm keen to check it out, see if it's any better than the AE1s. And this might be the first colorway that I decide to pick up. Right, we just got some new details on the Jordan 5 Tokyo that's going to be returning this year. So a little bit different to what we initially anticipated. I think the leaks and rumors have kind of been all over the place. Apparently we were supposed to get 2 different versions. I don't think that's the case anymore. So now we know there is going to be a slight change. So it's not going to be coming back true to the original. There's one small little difference, which is there's going to be a yellow piece on the outsole. So let me show you an image of what that looks like. So this is the original colorway that dropped back in 2011, and this is going to be the new one. This little yellow piece right here, that is it. Some other details, we know that they're going to be dropping towards the end of September, and there's going to be around 20,000 pairs, which I think is very limited. Like, what is that in comparison to the black metallic 5s? Because that would give us a good gauge. Like the black metallic 5s, they caused a freaking riot. They're reselling for a ton. People really wanted to get their hands on those. I feel like it's going to be a similar story with these. And it's also an interesting move by Jordan Brand, because they said here, we didn't want those who copped the pair 10 years ago to feel like their efforts were naught. So the slight change on the toe cap offers a differentiation from the original while keeping the integrity of the Tokyo 5s. So this is a common complaint we hear whenever Jordan Brand wants to bring a shoe back, or they do bring a shoe back. A lot of the OG people who bought these pair of shoes are like, oh, why are they bringing everything back? Like it kind of makes them not special anymore. So Jordan Brand, it looks like from this release is like, well, we'll make a slight little change to them, and then hopefully it will keep both parties, you know, happy. People who want them for the first time and people who originally bought them back in the day. I don't know if that's really going to make a difference. Like, I don't know, if someone is, maybe if you're watching and you had these things from 2011, does this change make you feel better about them coming back, or is it kind of the same thing? Either way, also on this note, Jordan Brand said that they're going to be doing more releases like this, where they retro a pair of shoes with just one tiny subtle little difference to try and keep both parties happy. Either way, Tokyo 5s are coming back. Very, very hyped pair of shoes. If we get any more information, I'll let you guys know. Final story for today, we might be getting a Labubu Kobe collaboration. So this article says a Labubu Kobe collaboration isn't as crazy as it sounds. Yes, it is. So Vanessa Bryant took, I believe, to Instagram or something and posted this picture of a Labubu doll in a custom Kobe jersey, kind of signaling that there might be a collaboration in the works. They justify this post by talking about how this doll has been so insanely viral, and basically all of like the sneaker resellers who are not making any money anymore have transitioned into selling these freaking dolls. I mean, if you didn't know the lore behind these things, they're breaking the internet. Like, I don't know why, but people are going crazy. Apparently one of the latest stories was that like the lines were so insane in the UK that they had to shut down sales because they were just, you know, causing fights and like crazy stuff like that. Some people claim that they took days off of work to go and line up to buy these dolls. So could Nike capitalize this and do some kind of Kobe collaboration that Vanessa Bryant wants? I would not put it past them at all. I think something like this could potentially happen. This is just a picture, so we're not entirely sure. There's nothing confirmed, but who knows? Either way, guys, that wraps it up for this week's Sneaky Sunday. Don't forget, we do this every single week, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and that way you can always stay up to date with all of the latest information and news. And of course, if you want to catch another video, I'll throw one up right in that corner over there.